G'day folks, back again. Thought I'd give you another little life update. We camped up. We're now literally smack bang in the middle of Adelaide and Perth, halfway across the plateau between Eucla and Majura. Got here last night and we decided to park up today. There's a bit of a weather system hitting South Australia and a bit of Victoria. We're just copping the edge of it here. I was looking at the forecast yesterday. The gusts are predicted to be 110, 120 kilometres an hour in the Adelaide region, and we're getting just the very top edge of it. So the forecast was gusts up to 75 kilometres an hour. So it's not super comfortable trying to drive a big brick-shaped object across a plateau with no wind protection in winds of that speed. So we decided to sit still for a day, and it's just actually started to come over cloudy. It was a bit sunny before. Yeah, so we're sitting still for today. So where were we? So last time I videoed, we were near Elliston, which was a great little spot. We left there the next morning and went actually into the township of Elliston, which is a tiny little sleepy kind of fishing town, I suppose. Beautiful little spot. We parked up on the beach, had smoothies and coffee and all that. Stayed there for a little bit, then it started to rain. So we took off to our next little camp. Again, it was only from the campsite to the beach, and the beach to the next campsite further up the Eyre Peninsula was only like a 20-minute drive each time or something. Pulled into just like a roadside stop beside the highway where you might have seen on our Instagram, Michelle made a reel of the bus driving away or pulling out of the spot. That's where we were. So we stayed, I think we stayed one night there, I can't remember. But we left there and we were going to do some grocery shopping in Streaky Bay before we made our way up to Ceduna. We had posts to collect on Tuesday, and the time of recording this, what day is it? Sunday. So we had some posts to collect at Ceduna on Tuesday. So we're working our way up. Anyway, we got to this next spot and the dog had eaten something. Sorry, we got to Streaky Bay to do the grocery shopping and the dog had eaten something. We didn't know at the time, but I took her for a walk in this parking area at Streaky Bay, and that she was walking around like she was drunk, and we googled and found she could have been bitten by a tick or maybe having a stroke, and we were really worried about it. We honestly thought she was on her last legs because she's like 15 years old or something. Here she is. She's busy today, aren't you, Rocket? Hey, she heard her name. Those ears prick up. Anyway, yeah, we honestly thought we were going to lose her. And on the drive, she'd thrown up as well, which wasn't super pleasant, but we think that was her regurgitating what she'd eaten. That wasn't very good for her. So lesson learnt, we don't let her off the lead too much anymore around bush places. There was no one else around, so we thought we should be right. But anyway, so yeah, that was a little bit of a scare. We did our grocery shopping in Streaky Bay, and then headed on up to, there was our next planned campsite was halfway between Streaky and Ceduna. Again, a little town. Well, there was only houses, no shops, no pub, no servo, nothing, just tiny few houses and a fishing business or oyster business, I think, or something. And that was a beautiful little camp, just about 100 metres from the beach. So we went for a couple of walks on the beach and water was crystal clear. It was beautiful. A few other caravanners there. So we stayed 2 nights there, a day in the middle, and had a chat to a few of the people there and all that sort of stuff. Then from there on Monday night we headed into Ceduna. We decided to stay in a caravan park, and we went to the Shelley Beach Caravan Park, which is about 5 minutes out of Ceduna. You got to go, well, we could have cut across, but we decided to go into town because we picked up the post from the post office. We had another appointment in Ceduna, so yeah, went in there Monday night and through town and out to the caravan park. And like, we don't normally stay in caravan parks, but this was honestly probably the best caravan park we've ever stayed in. The spots were huge, and they had like little, not like hedges, but small lines of like scrubby trees, so not too high that they'd block out your solar, and give a little bit of privacy between each spot. And the spots were like heaps wide. It was really good. There was 2 other buses. We were parked next to one bus and opposite another bus, and got chatting to some bus people and stuff, which that doesn't normally happen. But yeah, really good caravan park. We liked it. The people were friendly. I got a bag of firewood. That there's a local 8-year-old girl runs a firewood business there. If you want to buy some firewood at the Shelley Beach Caravan Park, support an 8-year-old's entrepreneurial dreams. So yeah, the next day, we stayed there 2 nights. We went into do the appointment. Oh no, we got in there on the Tuesday. I think we cruised in on the Tuesday, went to the post office on the way, then set up camp, went to this appointment, and stayed there that night. So we stayed there the one night. Filled up with water while we're at the caravan park. Did a grocery shop the next morning. Had to do an early run to the grocery shop because it's a long way from Ceduna to Norseman. Is pretty much the desolate part of the Nullarbor where there's nothing but roadhouses. So we made sure we stocked up on groceries. That was the Streaky Bay shop, but we topped up on a few things at Ceduna. And then from Ceduna we shot out of there and we went a couple of 100 k's, I think. We did, that's right. A spot's called 222k Peg, which is 200 kilometres from the WA border. And we're going to stay there a couple of nights, but couldn't get real far from the road. There was trees and protection from the wind and stuff there, so that was good. And it was quiet. There weren't a lot of other people around. I think there was one other caravan pulled in. And then yeah, it was a bit close to the road, so Michelle wasn't real comfortable with the stimulation through the night. The road noise was a bit hectic, so we took off from there and went to what's called 10k Peg, which is 10k before the WA border. And for those that don't know, there's a quarantine inspection point at the WA border to come into Western Australia, and you can't bring a lot of fresh produce. You can't bring in, so we stayed 2 nights there to use up all our fresh produce and prepare what needed to be either frozen or cut up and whatever. And now in the past we'd come across there, because what you got to do is declare what you've got. Got anything to declare yet? So a few years ago we came across and we had like a lettuce and a tomato or something, and the guy was like, well, you don't have to declare that. Have you got a salad bowl and some olive oil? We're like, yeah. So he goes, rip it up, douse it with olive oil, salt and pepper, and then you don't have to declare. You don't have to lose it. You can have your salad on the way through. So we thought we'd do the same again. So we made a beautiful salad the night before for dinner, and then we bought a bag of avocados at Streaky Bay that weren't ripening, so we sat them on the windowsill and got them. There was like 6 avocados. And yeah, we had ripe all at once. So I made what we now affectionately referring to as disappearing guacamole, because the morning of crossing the border we got up, made the guacamole, thinking we'd be sweet, no problem, because it's like been through the blender and all that. Anyway, and get to the quarantine inspection point, and she says, oh, have you got any salads or whatever in your fridge? And we said, oh yeah, here we go, because they look in your fridge and all this sort of stuff. It's a pretty ridiculous system the way it all works, but anyway, so the salad that we'd made the night before and doused with olive oil and whatever, we had to ditch that, and then they took the guacamole off us as well. And so yeah, we gutted about that. We thought we were doing the right thing, making sure so we weren't taking the whole fruit, but yeah, so we lost that. So that's the disappear. I never make guacamole, and the time I do make it, it gets taken off us, so a bit upset about that. Anyway, we crossed the border and came here. We're about 100 k's I think from the border, and yeah, sitting still today because it's blowing an absolute gale out there. It's come over real cloudy now. It's getting pretty hectic. And now there was one other caravan here for most of the day, and now there's like 6 have just pulled in because it's just started to get a bit hectic, and obviously it's blowing out there on the highway. So let me show you the sky. Sunny before, but now it's like coming over pretty bleak and the place is filling up. So yeah, anyway, that's it for now. I'll catch you on the next one.